All right, moving on to our healthy skin. Fun fact, if you didn't know this, your skin is the largest organ in your body, or technically on your body. It covers your entire body. It's the biggest organ there is. It has three main functions. I think I only made you list two on your homework. It kind of acts as like a waterproof shield that defends your body against germs. That's why if you have like cuts or scrapes, it's important to cover them up. While Band-Aids do stop bleeding, we also don't want anything getting inside of them. It's also important to like disinfect them and clean them as soon as possible. It helps maintain your body's temperature. If you get too hot, you do something called sweating. And it's not just because, you know, you're working hard. Like, yes, that's why we sweat, but it's actually a way for you to cool down your body. So the harder you work out or the hotter you get, the more sweat you're going to produce, and it's just your body taking water from yourself and trying to cool you down. It also allows you to feel a sense of pressure and temperature. So if you put your hand on a table and you're going to feel the pressure of that table. If you put your hand on a burning stove, you're going to know it's hot. Then your brain is going to sense that and say you need to move your hand off the burning stove. Also with the temperature, if you are really, really cold, your body is going to bring the heat to the center of your body to keep your organs alive, your important like heart and lungs. And that's why fingers and toes and your nose are most likely to get frostbite, and your ears, because they're the most distal outer parts of our bodies and they will lose heat the quickest. So therefore they'll be infected by cold more than the middle of your body. We have 2 layers of skin. You've probably talked about this in science class at some point also. Health is a science, if you weren't aware of that. So a lot of things we talk about are going to double dip with science, but you have a thin outer layer of skin. This is your epidermis, and then this thick inner layer of your skin is called your dermis. And this also shows like your hair follicles, which we'll talk about hair in a second here. Skincare, you should all know this. It is pretty straightforward, but believe it or not, the most important part of skincare is cleansing it. And when I mean cleansing, I don't just mean standing in water. You need soap, you need shampoo, you need to wash it. Do you have to do it every single day? No, absolutely not. Your body has natural bacteria that grows on the skin that's actually good for you. And if you wash and cleanse too much, it can actually be harmful, but I don't think anybody does it too much at your age. Your body also develops sweat glands when you become more active. Again, it's trying to cool you down. And bacteria is going to grow in the areas where you sweat, like especially under your arms. So where we need to apply our deodorant. We also need to scrub under there pretty well. Otherwise, bacteria can grow, and that's gross. These germs can grow in numbers and create a smelly odor. This is where body odor comes into play. If people have large like skin folds that they can't clean under, or they don't scrub certain parts of their body where the bacteria is getting stuck, that's where we start to smell bad. But especially those armpits get very smelly after a while. So using deodorant can help prevent this, along with keeping your body feeling clean and fresh and not smelling gross. It's important to also protect your skin from the sun, and we'll talk about like skin cancer and stuff later, but the sun has UV rays, ultraviolet rays that can cause sunburn and wrinkles, and it can in turn increase you getting skin cancer when you're older. So right now you are, pretty much a lot younger than me, so I would be at greater risk of getting skin cancer because I would have more exposure to the sun than you because I've been on the planet longer than you. People that tan are really increasing their exposure in tanning beds. It's really bad for you to tan. And then the sun is at its hottest between 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. So that's when you want to avoid a lot of direct sunlight. But if you're going to be out there, wear sunscreen. The sunscreen actually kind of helps to filter out some of the UV rays, and that's why we don't get burned as much when we wear sunscreen. But burn from the sun is a first-degree burn, and it is bad for your skin. And the more you get burned, the more likely you are to develop skin cancer down the way. Acne happens on our skin. It's a skin condition caused by overly active oil glands. It can happen in your teen years mostly because you have an increase in hormone production. You're going through puberty. If you have a lot of clogged pores, it's going to cause bumps on the surface of your face, and that's what acne is. So washing your face with a mild soap and not scrubbing too hard can help keep acne at bay. You're supposed to avoid squeezing pimples so that you don't scar your skin. And if it gets really bad, you can see a dermatologist. They're a skin specialist, so a doctor just for skin. I've actually seen a dermatologist before, but it was to determine what I was allergic to. So I had some patch testing done, but they can help with all sorts of skin problems because I was having a very bad reaction, and it turns out I was highly allergic to gold, and I was allergic to my shampoo and conditioner, and it was making my eyes bug out of my head. So a dermatologist can help you if you can't figure out the right thing to do for your skin. Since I got my patch testing done, I now have a shampoo and conditioner that does not irritate my eyeballs. Boom, we're not going to do that. Boom, we're not going to do that. Healthy hair, the roots of your hair are located in your dermis. We saw that picture, and it was the thicker part of the skin, and they're housed in these small little pockets called follicles. This is on your homework. The part of the hair you can see is called the shaft. And believe it or not, you have a shape to the shaft of your hair that's going to determine if your hair is curly, straight, or wavy. You can, straighten your hair or curl your hair, but mostly every day after you wash it, your hair is going to go back to its normal shape. So if you have a round shaft, your hair is going to be straight. If you have an oval shaped shaft, your hair will be wavy. And if you have a flat shaft of your hair, you'll have kinky or curly hair. And again, this is just a picture of the hair in the dermis. This upper part is your epidermis, and this is your hair shaft. And whatever shape that is will determine if you have straight, wavy, or curly hair. Hair care, you need to wash it regularly. Do you need to wash your hair with soap and shampoo every single day? Absolutely not. But if you shower every day, you don't always have to wash it. I probably wash my hair every other day at most. Avoid using too much heat. We'll see a picture. Lots of heat damage if you straighten your hair every day, or even blow drying it every day can damage it. It's important to brush your hair because it actually helps remove dirt, and it spreads your natural oils in your scalp down your shaft of your hair so that the ends don't get dry and break. If you have any sort of hair problems like dry, oily scalps, dandruff, you can get shampoos that are particular to use for those problems. So if you have an oily scalp, there's shampoo for that can help with that. Same with the dandruff. You see like the Head and Shoulders like dandruff care, and dandruff is just flaking of dead skin cells, but people think it looks gross. I mean, there's nothing wrong with the person. They're not diseased. They don't have cooties. It's just dead skin cells that can flake off, but they have shampoos for that. And you should always avoid sharing hair items, just in case of head lice. Don't share brushes or hats or anything. So this would be like healthy hair. Again, it's a fake picture, but dandruff just looks white and flaky. And this would be damaged from heat. It gets really frizzy and dry, and it's really hard to undo that damage from heat without like cutting your hair off and starting over. Last thing is your nails. Your nails are made of the same material as your hair. It's called keratin. And we have something called a cuticle, which is a non-living band of outer skin. So if you look at the very bottom of your nail, that skin that kind of grows up over the nail, that maybe if you get manicures, they push it back and they cut the cuticles down, or your parents have pushed them back for you. That is your cuticle. So the part that you can push into the bottom of the skin of your nail. You can keep your nails healthy by pushing back the cuticles. You do not want that skin growing up and over your nails. Keeping your nails trimmed and clean. And boys, well, I talk to boys mostly. I've already had somebody take their shoes off in class and show me their toenails. Ew. But this is where ingrown toenails come into play, because if you do not trim your nails, they're going to curl and grow back into your skin. And that's where ingrown toenails are from. So keep them trimmed, keep them clean so they don't also get infected. Ew. A lot of boys ignore their feet, but it's perfectly fine to go get like a manicure and a pedicure. There's nothing non-masculine about it. This is hygiene. We need it. It's also really important not to bite your nails. I'm going to admit that I bite my nails sometimes. It's a nervous habit. But the reason you don't want to bite your nails is because, again, there's gross things under your nails. You touch your face, you pet your dog, you dig in the dirt outside. If you bite your nails, you're basically just eating whatever germs and bacteria have been stored under those. So when you wash your hands, that's why it's important to also scrub underneath your nails. And also keep, obviously, your fingernails trimmed and clean too, or the same thing can happen. And you don't have to worry about this. This is just what I usually do if we take notes in class. I do note checks to make sure you're taking notes, but lucky for you, you get to do health online. It's so easy. Some of these are the same as on your worksheet, but basically fill out your worksheet, answer the questions. It's 20 points. I put a bonus question on there for you. Actually, I think I'm going to change it, make it harder. And then next time we have health, we'll talk about your eyes and your ears. If you have any questions, reach out. Your health assignment is due Friday by midnight. If you finish it sooner, awesome. Turn it in. Forget about it.